There was a lot of energy in London's O2 Arena. Taylor Swift was in the middle of her Eras Tour show, which was a crazy mix of music, dance, and amazing costume changes. A sea of sparkling friendship bracelets filled the crowd. Their lights flashed in time with the music. Travis Kelce was shaking with nerves backstage. He had planned a treat for Taylor that would blow everyone away with his love. Taylor's team had helped him plan the event with great care, making sure it would be an experience they would always remember. Travis moved in time with Taylor's first chords of Love Story as they echoed through the venue. As he walked onto the stage, a single torch shone on him. The crowd let out a gasp of surprise, and for a moment, the cheers turned into a hush. Travis walked up to Taylor with a bunch of red roses in his hand. He was wearing a sharp black suit. She stopped singing in the middle of a line, her eyes wide with surprise. The crowd cheered so loudly that their words could be heard all over the arena. When Travis got to Taylor, his eyes were full of love. As he got down on one knee, the cheers from the crowd got louder. Taylor's eyes filled with tears as Travis spoke, but his voice was hard to hear over the loud cheers. "Taylor," he started, his voice full of feeling, "you are the love story of my life. You are everything to me. Is it possible for you to make me happy and marry me?" The only sound in the arena was the steady beating of thousands of hearts. Taylor nodded, but her voice was choked up with emotion. "Yes," she whispered, heavy tears running down her face. Travis put the diamond ring on her finger. The stone sparkled, just like the happiness in their eyes. When he stood up, he grabbed Taylor and held her tightly. The crowd cheered so loudly that it was hard to hear. The show went on, but the mood had changed. Love and happiness filled the air. Taylor finished Love Story with a voice full of new feelings. Her tears showed how surprised she was by what had happened on stage. The plan made news all over the world as word spread like wildfire. Fans were happy, and their social media feeds were full of messages of love and support for the pair. Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce's love story is shown by the surprise engagement at the UK event, which they will always remember. Taylor Swift didn't even notice how loud the crowd was at Wembley Stadium in London. She got lost in the tune of Lover, and as she sang about how love can last forever, her eyes sparkled with tears that she hadn't shed yet. Though she didn't know it yet, love was about to take the lead in a way she never saw coming. Travis Kelce, the star tight end for the Kansas City Chiefs and Taylor's boyfriend, was dealing with his own feelings miles away. He flew in secret for the show because the distance between them was too great to bear. He had a big idea as he watched her from the wings. Taylor was almost done with her set when we went back to the stage. The crowd felt her strong emotions and reacted with a wave of love and warmth. At that point, during the last line of Love Story, Travis Kelce moved in. On his way to the stage, he held a single red rose in his hand and looked straight at Taylor. The crowd went crazy, and after a moment of stunned quiet, there was a cacophony of cheers and gasps. Taylor was in the middle of a note when she looked over and saw Travis. Her eyes grew wide with shock and then filled with tears. As he kneeled down next to her, the crowd's roar turned into a soft buzz. As he held out the rose, the stadium held its breath. His voice shook as he told her how much he loved her. "Taylor," he started, "I couldn't stand being away from you anymore. You're my love story and the most beautiful song I've ever heard." Taylor was so moved that she couldn't stop crying as she accepted the rose, and Travis helped her gently down from the stage. As they watched this real-life fairy tale play out, the crowd went crazy, and their cheers could be heard all over the field. Travis held Taylor close in the quiet of backstage. Their meeting was a private moment of happiness in the middle of all the excitement. Tears of happiness and love found and confirmed were now pouring out openly. The world was shocked by Travis's surprise act, which shows how strong love is and how far we'll go for those we care about. When Taylor and Travis hugged, the sound of their love story filled Wembley. It was clear that this would be a show that no one would ever forget. There was a lot of energy in London's O2 Arena. The huge room was filled with lights, music, and feelings as Taylor Swift was in the middle of her Eras Tour show. People in the crowd got very excited when the first sounds of Love Story were played. As Taylor stood in the middle of the stage in a sparkling white dress, the words to her song about love and longing filled the air. Suddenly, there was a hush in the crowd, and the music stopped. Someone came out of the shadows and walked toward Taylor with a bunch of red roses in their hand. People in the stadium let out gasps when they saw Travis Kelce, the star tight end for the Kansas City Chiefs. Taylor's eyes got big with shock, and she let out a single tear that ran down her cheek. Travis got down on one knee as he approached her and held out the roses as a gift. The arena was filled with a combined intake of breath. Travis planned to pop the question in front of tens of thousands of fans, right? Travis's voice, which sounded deep and clear through the microphone, broke the quiet. "Taylor," he said first, looking into her eyes, "I'm not here to propose." Even though everyone in the room was sad, Travis kept talking. "I'm here to tell you that you're the most amazing woman I've ever met. Your music has moved millions of people, including me." Travis took a deep breath, and his words showed how he felt. "I know we come from different places, but you make my life so much better." In front of everyone, I wanted to show how grateful and impressed I was. He gave Taylor the flower bunch, and their fingers briefly touched. Taylor whispered, "Thank you, Travis," because she was so moved. "You have no idea how much this means to me." People in the crowd cheered, and the music started up again as Taylor and Travis hugged each other. The show went on, but it was different. Because everyone was so shocked, the atmosphere was filled with even more emotion and energy. Taylor put her whole heart into every song. Her eyes were sparkling with tears that she hadn't shed yet, and her voice carried the weight of her new feelings. The UK show was a night to remember, not only for the unexpected act of kindness but also for the clear bond between two remarkable people. The next morning, news sites all over the world were talking about Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce's surprise moment. Even though it wasn't a proposal, it showed how powerful respect and admiration can be. Fans all over the world were fascinated by their unique love story after Travis did something that showed how much he cared about Taylor. Even though the Eras tour went on, everyone who saw what happened that night in London will always remember it.